Hello everyone, welcome back to our Clinizol YouTube learning channel. Myself Yamni and my colleague Mehnas, interns at Clinizol IT Enabled Pharma Services, have written an article on archival and management of clinical trial documents. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about archival, site for an archive, procedure, members responsible for archival, documents to be archived, duration of archiving, preparing documents for archival, archival of trial master file, storage and archiving condition, destroying of clinical trial documents, protecting archived documents, benefits of archiving data and an example. Introduction. Archiving is a key requirement to ensure post-trial monitoring and evaluation and to facilitate further research. Prior to initiation of a trial, an archival strategy must be developed which addresses as a regulatory requirements, and it includes the following elements: documents to be archived, period of archiving, location, retrieval or access of archived documents, disaster recovery, procedure of clinical data archiving, archiving by an ethics committee and by archiving by the investigator. Archiving of clinical trial documents helps to store data safely and securely for a long-term use with facilities like secure systems and e-backups. Site for an archive. Requirements are adequate space, staff and equipment, provision of stable environmental conditions to ensure that the documents and other material are not affected. Controlled temperature and humidity must be maintained. Care must be taken when magnetic media or images are archived. Security of the premises must be ensured that the facility has provisions for restricted data access, locked cabinets and intruder alarm. Hazard management and retrieval or access of the archived documents. The plan must specify that the documents will have a restricted access. It is advisable to identify the details of the personnel that can access the archival facility. However, it should be clarified that the regulatory authority or ethics committees may request access to these documents. Lastly, the location and construction of the building should be of adequate size to satisfy requirements for the next 15 to 20 years. Procedure. It should be specified that the process of archival should only be commenced after the final visit has been completed by the last trial participant and trial master file and investigator site file are complete and verified for accuracy. All queries pertaining to data have been resolved, database is locked and the data has been analyzed. The final report has been submitted and any other prerequisite specified by the sponsor, regulatory authorities, ethics committees, etc. An archival checklist may be helpful in ensuring that all the essential documents and other supplies, if are applicable, should be archived. These documents may be used as a template for developing an archival checklist. Members responsible for the archival. Archiving by the ethics committees. Documents submitted to an ethics committees for approval must be kept confidential and stored as per the written standard operating procedures. The ethics committees must archive all the documents and records for a period of at least 5 years after the completion or termination of a clinical trial. Archiving by the investigator. The investigator must maintain and archive essential documents pertaining to a clinical trial. These documents should be archived for a period of at least 2 years after the last approval of a marketing application or for a period of 2 years until there are no pending or contemplated applications or for at least 2 years after the formal discontinuation of clinical development of the investigational product. The regulatory agency and or the sponsor may request the investigator to archive these documents for longer than 2 years. The sponsor should notify the investigator or the institution in writing when the trial-related documents are no longer required. The investigator should ensure that these archived documents have restricted access and are secured in a location that maintains their integrity. Documents to be archived before the trial are clinical trial agreements, CVs of all the team members, signed protocol, investigator brochure, advertisements for the patient requirement, patient consent form, signature and delegation logs, patient information sheet, normal test for laboratory test, standard operational procedures and copies of the questionnaires and ethics committee approval. The documents to be archived during the trial are drug dispensing log, drug accountability log, protocol amendments, updates in investigator brochure, notification on adverse events, signed patient consent form, subject enrollment logs, subject identification logs, updates in ethics committee documents. Documents to be archived after the trial: final closeout monitoring reports, decoding documents, complete subjects ID code list, drug accountability and written, audit certificate, and final reports to ethics committee. Duration of archiving. The sponsor is responsible for determining the duration of the archiving required for the study documents and should consider whether the result of a trial may or will be included in marketing authorization application, and there should be any applicable regulatory requirements at time of archiving, and any statement which is included in protocol must be submitted to the regulatory authorities. In case of hosted studies, the investigator should confirm from the sponsor during the duration of archiving and to the research and development along with the study documents which is required during the process of archiving. In time of trust-sponsored studies, the duration of archiving at the start of the study will be agreed by the research and development and the chief investigator and reviewed and confirmed by writing on completion of study. Preparing documents for archival. Research team responsibilities are: all the documents for hosted or the trust-sponsored studies are to be archived by the trust and must be submitted to the research and development unit for archiving. The investigator should go through the trial archiving checklist and should forward to the research governance manager along with the study documents which are required for the archiving. Research and development responsibilities are: once the documents are received from the research and development, the named archivist will ensure that all the trial documents are placed in a suitable archive box, which mainly depends on the number of the documents to be archived and is permissible to archive more than one study in one archive box. In prior to the transferring the documents to the storage for archiving, the named archivist must include the R&D archiving log with details of the study archived, which includes the following information: archive box number, short title of the study, R&D reference, record reference, description of the documents archived, which includes the site file, pharmacy file, case report form for the patients, name and contact details of the sponsor, chief investigator or the principal investigator, date and transfer of archiving, retention period, and expected destruction time. The archive box also have been labeled with the box number corresponding to that listed on the R&D archiving log and contains details of the R&D account code for recharging of archive fees to the R&D department. The R&D database will also be updated to reflect the study documents that have been archived, and the sponsor will be notified. Archival of trial master file. The trial master file, including the audit trial, should be archived appropriately to enable supervision after the clinical trial has ended. The dynamic character of the audit trial should be preserved when applicable. Archiving should be undertaken after the investigator or institution and sponsor have been reviewed that their file TMF documentation is complete. Access to the archive data or the documentation should be suitably restricted either by the user access levels to the archive area of a server and or by access controls to the storage location where the electronic or the paper media are retained. Additionally, the electronic documents or the data that has been archived should be protected from unauthorized changes to maintain authenticity. The Trial Master File reference model includes Trial Master File artifacts, which includes a non-devices, sponsor document, investigator document device, sponsor document, and investigator document, and also includes the investigator initiated study artifacts, which is a mandatory dependent upon the study recommended. The Trial Master File levels includes a trial level document, trial level milestone or event, country or the region level document, country level or a milestone or the event site level document, and a site level milestone or an event, and also includes suggested columns for implementing the trial master file reference model includes dating, convention, artifact, owner, artifact, location, wet ink signature, standard operating procedure reference, translation, required current artifact name, and additional metadata. Storage and archiving conditions. The documents needed to be stored in a way that preserves their integrity and readability and restrict access to the particular individuals only, and the quality system should maximize the probability of archiving these objectives. Storage whereas in use. Although the research projects are ongoing, study documents must be retained within a space with a restricted access. The documents should be locked in a cupboard within a locked room and must be maintained in a legible condition with no delay of retrieval. Responsibilities for the storage and maintenance of the study documents are the responsibility of the investigator or a delegated individual. Long-term storage or archiving. According to ICH 5.2, adequate and suitable storage space for all the essential records should be made available, and the facilities must be secured with appropriate environmental conditions and adequate protection from fire, flood and unauthorized access. And this may later lead to subcontract, where the sponsor of the trial is responsible for all the trial master file documents. So if not the sponsor may check the adequate sponsor facilities in place. Destroying of an archival document. Archival documents can only be destroyed by a written permission which is obtained by a sponsor or a contract research organization and investigator in accordance with the study protocol requirements and the sponsor's standard operating procedures, and this information should be communicated to the research and development departments, and all the essential documents have been retrieved from the storage to the research and development department for review by the named archivist prior to destruction. The named archivist will notify to the sponsor in a written form when destruction has been completed. The destruction of the essential documents, which is documented and signed by a person with the appropriate authority, and this record will be retained permanently with the ULHT Clinical Records Retention and Disposal Policy. Archiving research on computers. It is responsibility of the principal investigator to notify the named archivist as the electronic study data, and it has to be archived. Electronic study data should be encrypted and copied onto a read-only media device for archiving the study documents. Thus, the study data held on the computer servers must be deleted permanently, and it is the responsibility of the principal investigator who must look after the guidance from ULHT ICT department as required. It is also important to consider the accurate media for archiving electronic documentation. The selected accurate media should be done as it is no longer produced or used or out of date during the scheduled period of storage, and should be transferred to a newer or a more appropriate media format if required. Protecting archived documents. Procedures to protect archives from human threats. Human activity can cause harm to the archived materials by both intentionally or accidentally. As per the standard operating procedures, we can reduce the threats governing access to the archive. Preferably when materials has been archived, it should not be released from the archive, as only a authorized will have access to either within a secure archive reading room or given with working copies of materials requested. Where the materials are to be removed, authorization must obtain, and a detailed catalogue of archive contents, loans, borrowers should be maintained, and there must be a tracking of recall mechanism for outstanding loans on a regular basis. Procedures to protect archives from physical threat like fire. The construction of the archival building must be fire resistant and considered to be as a close fitting doors, fire resistant internal compartments, enclosure of vertical shaft such as stairwells, fire dampers in any ducting, and there should be no unnecessary wiring, and all the wiring should be regularly checked for compliance with appropriate standards. Manual function includes a fire extinguisher, and fire hoses should be provided. Any water or the chemicals used in the firefighting should extracted or flow from the archive rapidly when the situation solved, and unnecessary use of water or chemicals should be avoided. Procedures to prevent deterioration of archived materials. There are a number of ways of slowing the aging process for archival material. Temperature and humidity in the storage area is very important, and environmental monitoring equipment should be installed which gives accurate records of storage condition and which can archive themselves. If the archive is commercially operated, incoming archive materials from all the sources should be reviewed by the following standard operating procedures. Benefits of archiving. Archives where it is protected for a long term against the loss, deterioration, inappropriate access, and future incompatibility. Your data sets are stored safely and securely in a long term. Archives allow you to share your data in a strong way, which includes a visible, accessible, discoverable. You will be meeting the specified standards with university and founder policies. Once your data is uploaded to a data archive, the administrators of the archive are responsible for managing your data and can manage access to your data on your behalf if you like them. Increases the productivity, reduces the redundancy or the equipment use, and automating a manual process can save countless hours, data tracking made easy and cost effective, quality of the data, time saving, and secure system and secure e-backups. Here is an example of an archival of a study record template which includes a standard operating procedure for the clinical research with the title of archiving of a study records, which includes a standard operating procedure, an effective date, and a version number, which also includes the related policies, appendices, and a revision history with the approval date followed by the effective date and review or the revision date. This is all about the information for today's topic. If you like this video and if it is informative, please like and share with your friends. Thank you. To get more information and notification, please subscribe and support our channel.